You are currently building a fortress of fantasy, but without realizing it, you are handing the keys to your own destruction. Every detail you've meticulously mapped out, the mental sanctuary you've constructed in a land thousands of miles away, is being systematically dismantled by invisible traps before your feet even touch the foreign soil. It begins with the sacrifice. You spent months in a grueling cycle of deprivation, where every single dollar saved served as a physical brick in the wall of your future escape. You didn't just save money, you bought freedom. You booked those flights, obsessively mapped out every route, and watched the calendar days bleed away until the countdown became a haunting obsession in the back of your mind. But there is a silent, predatory trap hidden within the logistics that most travelers fall into blindly. They are sabotaging their own dreams before the first sunrise even hits their eyes. These aren't just minor hiccups or traveler's luck. They are fundamental, structural errors that drain your wallet, waste your precious time, and ultimately incinerate the one resource you can never manufacture more of: the raw, unrepeatable memory of a place you might only visit once in your entire life. When these common mistakes occur, they don't just cause a minor delay, they create a permanent fracture in the experience. You aren't simply losing money on unexpected fees or hours wasted standing in a stagnant line. You are hemorrhaging the very magic of the moment. You are trading a core memory, a jagged, beautiful piece of your history, for a logistical nightmare that leaves you exhausted and hollow. When these specific mistakes manifest, they act as a thief in the night, stealing the atmosphere of a destination and replacing it with frustration. Once that window of time closes, it stays closed forever. You can always earn more money and you can always book another flight, but you can never reclaim a stolen moment. You are trading your once-in-a-lifetime for a series of avoidable failures, and once that experience is fractured, the magic is gone for good. You are about to make a mistake that could cost you thousands of dollars before you even step foot into an airport. It's a silent thief, lurking in the logistics of your itinerary, waiting to drain your bank account and ruin your experience. The single most expensive mistake happens before you ever pack a bag: booking on the wrong dates. Most travelers fall into a trap of convenience, choosing dates that feel right but are mathematically catastrophic. By simply shifting your departure by just 1 or 2 days to fly off-peak, you aren't just saving money, you are reclaiming your freedom. Imagine dodging those local holidays you didn't even know existed. These invisible calendar markers create massive price spikes and overwhelming congestion for the unsuspecting. When you navigate these dates correctly, you can cut your total travel costs almost in half instantly. But the true payoff isn't just the digits on your bank statement. It's the visual solitude of a destination. By avoiding the peak surges, you empty the crowds out of every single photo, turning a chaotic tourist trap into a private sanctuary. You aren't just choosing a date, you are hacking the system to ensure that when you finally arrive, the only thing you see is the horizon, not a sea of other people doing exactly what you're doing. You are being hunted by a sophisticated psychological trap, one designed specifically to drain your wallet while you're distracted by the scenery. You might think you're making a choice based on taste, but there is a predatory architecture at play here that targets your desire for comfort. You see it every day, that charming cafe sitting right on the edge of the famous square. It features the colorful photo menu, the gleaming windows, and a waiter waving you in with an inviting smile. To your brain, it signals a welcoming oasis. To their ledger, it is a calculated ambush. Every aesthetic choice, from the height of the chairs to the brightness of the signage, is engineered to make you feel special while they exploit your presence. The closer you sit to that landmark, the worse and more expensive the food becomes. You aren't paying for the quality of the ingredients. You are paying for the proximity to the view. This is a predatory economic geography where convenience is nothing more than a synonym for a massive markup on mediocre plates. They have mastered the art of selling you a seat in a theater while the actual performance is being skipped entirely. You become the product, and your willingness to sit near the landmark makes you an easy target for their inflated pricing. But there is a secret door out of this cycle. The locals, The ones who actually know the rhythm of these streets and the truth behind the storefronts never step foot in those tourist traps. They understand that the scenery is a siren song designed to keep you stationary and spending. They walk just 5 minutes away, crossing a simple line into territory where prices drop and quality rises. The geography changes instantly. The desperate marketing fades, replaced by authentic craft. You don't have to be an easy target. By recognizing the trap of the convenience markup, you can break the cycle of exploitation. If you can move just a few blocks away, past the polished windows and into the real neighborhoods, you reclaim your money and find the true flavors hidden behind the crowd. The next time you see that inviting smile on the edge of the square, remember, the best seat isn't the one with the view. It's the one where you aren't being hunted. Your brain is wired to survive a threat, but in the modern age, the greatest threat to your peace is the frantic pursuit of more. You are chasing a ghost. You try to see everything, and in that desperate sprint to consume every sight, you end up feeling nothing, paralyzed by an exhaustion that leaves your spirit hollow. You aren't traveling. You are merely ticking boxes on a checklist, rushing through landscapes like they are obstacles between you and the next photo. You trade presents for pixels, and as a result, the experience evaporates before it can even settle in your bones. But look closer at the travelers who actually come home glowing with a radiant, lasting energy. They did less. They moved slower. While you were racing to hit every landmark, they chose the path of intentionality. They understood a truth that many overlook. One single neighborhood, felt deeply and lived intimately, beats 10 famous landmarks photographed in a blur. One street corner where you sat, breathed, and noticed the way the light hit the brickwork offers more soul than 1,000 postcards. Don't let your desire to see it all rob you of the ability to actually feel anything at all. Stop running. The magic isn't in the distance covered. It's in the depth you allow yourself to inhabit. You are at your most vulnerable the second you step through those sliding glass doors, exhausted and disoriented by a landscape that doesn't speak your language. This is exactly what they are counting on. While your brain struggles to process the time zone shift, a predator is watching from the curb, waiting for the moment your guard drops. They see the heavy luggage as a burden and your confusion as an opportunity. Enter the unmarked taxi, a vehicle with no branding but a price tag that will leave your bank account bleeding. They'll offer you a special price or claim their meter is broken, weaving a web of lies that feels like a deal but functions as a trap. It is one of the oldest scams in travel history, designed specifically to prey on the weary and the lost. But here is the truth they don't want you to know. This exploitation isn't inevitable. You can shut the door on these scammers entirely. The moment you master the local way to get to town, the specific routes, the official transit hubs, and the verified transport systems, you strip them of their power. Knowledge is your only defense against the ambush at arrivals. Stop being a target, learn the system, and walk away from the trap before it closes. You are being robbed before you even step off the plane, and most travelers won't notice until their bank statement arrives weeks later. A silent heist occurring in plain sight while they are distracted by the excitement of a new destination. It begins at the airport currency booth, an environment engineered for high pressure where convenience is marketed as a luxury. But in reality, it is a trap designed to drain your account instantly. They rely on your haste and your desire for easy cash to bypass your common sense. The moment you step up to that counter, they are targeting your wallet before the first mile of your journey has even begun. But the theft doesn't stop there. It follows you into the streets through a sophisticated mechanism known as dynamic currency conversion. When you tap your card at a merchant terminal, and that machine suddenly asks if you want to pay in your home currency, do not mistake it for a helpful shortcut. It is a calculated maneuver. By choosing your home currency at the point of sale, you are unknowingly handing over permission for the processor to bypass your bank's fair exchange rates. They are skimming a massive percentage off your trip from the very first hour of your vacation. These aren't just accidental errors or minor inconveniences. These are hidden fees buried deep within the fine print that no one has the time to read while navigating a chaotic foreign terminal. They aren't taking pennies. They are systematically stripping away your spending power, eroding your budget with every transaction. They bet on your ignorance of the technology behind the screen. However, there is a way to shut this entire operation down. It requires nothing more than a few minutes of preparation and the mental clarity to know exactly when to hit decline on that conversion prompt. By choosing the local currency instead, you force the transaction through your own bank's network, where the rates are transparent and fair. You have the power to stop the bleed of your wealth, but only if you recognize the heist before it happens. The next time that screen flashes a convenient offer, remember, every click is a choice between keeping your money or letting them take it for you. Imagine walking into a room where every smile you receive is actually a mask for deep offense, all because of a gesture you thought was innocent. You think you're being polite, but in this world, your body language is speaking a language you haven't learned to translate yet. What feels like common courtesy at home can become a devastating insult the moment you cross a border. Your hands, the way you gesture or offer them, your shoes, where they touch the ground, your tone of voice, and even the specific amount of a tip can trigger a visceral reaction from a local who views your politeness as a calculated disrespect. You are walking through a minefield of social cues where one wrong move shuts doors instantly. But there is a secret path for those who know how to navigate it. Travelers who take the time to master just 3 small, specific customs before their feet ever touch foreign soil unlock a different reality. They aren't just tourists, they become welcomed guests. While the rude tourist is met with cold stares and inflated prices, the informed traveler receives genuine warmth, unexpected help, and the fairer rates that remain hidden from those who don't know the rules of the game. Knowledge isn't just a tool, it's your key to belonging. Imagine walking into a crowded, chaotic foreign marketplace and realizing, in that split second of eye contact, that you aren't just a traveler, you are being treated like a target. You are a mark whose presence is only tolerated until they can exploit your ignorance for a premium price. You believe your silence is your shield, a way to blend into the crowd, but in reality, your silence is a beacon. It signals exactly who you are, an outsider who doesn't know the rules of the game. You don't need to be fluent in a complex grammar to navigate this world. You only need 10 specific words to bridge the gap between being a victim and being a guest. Just 10. When you utter hello, please, thank you, or how much in the local tongue, they function as more than simple translations. They act as a psychological key. These syllables do something profound. They fundamentally shift how an entire country treats you in that moment. They strip away the invisible wall of suspicion that locals build against those who refuse to engage. By speaking their words, you are signaling respect for their culture, and in exchange, they grant you the status of a guest rather than a prey animal. However, if you choose to skip them, opting for a silent, transactional exchange where you point at items and gesture with your hands, you are making a dangerous gamble. You are waving a flag that marks you as the tourist, the easy target who doesn't know the local code. By staying quiet, you invite what experts call the tourist tax. In this scenario, local vendors see your lack of effort and realize your ignorance is a profit margin. They can charge you double, triple, or more without hesitation because they know you don't have the tools to negotiate. This isn't just a matter of polite etiquette. It is about survival in a global economy. Every time you choose silence over those 10 essential words, you are choosing to be exploited by your own lack of preparation. Those 10 words are your shield. They are the only thing standing between you and being bled dry by your own silence. Your sense of self is being systematically harvested, stripped away by a machine that feeds on your compliance while starving your unique perspective. Look closely at the screen in your hands right now and acknowledge the invisible architecture surrounding you. Every time your thumb moves to scroll, you aren't discovering something new. You are encountering a digital ghost. You are staring at a viewpoint so overwhelmingly popular that it has been mobbed by thousands, fenced off for protection, and replicated across millions of identical feeds until the original soul of the location is completely erased. This isn't a place anymore. It's a commodity. When you join that massive, sweating crowd to capture the famous shot, you aren't an explorer, you are a participant in a collective hallucination. You have become just another data point in a sea of identical pixels, competing for tiny fragments of attention in a digital marketplace where your individuality is traded piece by piece for a single like. The algorithm doesn't want your truth, it wants your conformity. It rewards you for seeing exactly what everyone else sees. But there is a secret hiding in plain sight just one street over. While the masses are trapped in the loop of the perfect frame, there is an empty, raw vista waiting. That space belongs to no one but you. It isn't curated by a marketing team. It isn't crowded by seekers of clout. And it isn't replicated across 1,000 different profiles. While the world engages in a desperate sprint toward a prepackaged aesthetic, they are missing the actual reality of the land beneath their feet. They are so preoccupied with capturing what everyone else is seeing that they are fundamentally blind to what only you can see. The true memory, the one that sticks, the one that breathes, isn't found in the roar of the crowd or the perfection of a filtered image. It is waiting in the quiet, lonely solitude of the overlooked street. They are chasing the ghost. You have the chance to find the truth. You are walking past a storefront that looks abandoned, but there is a dangerous truth buried beneath its silent facade. A secret so well guarded that most people will walk right past it without ever noticing the trap. Look closely at the windows. Menus printed in 5 different languages hanging in the glass. This isn't a translation for the masses. It is a deliberate signal, a coded beacon designed specifically for those who already know exactly what they are looking for. You might think the building is deserted, but you must never let the silence fool you. An empty restaurant is rarely truly empty. More often than not, it is waiting. When a host finally steps from the shadows to pull you in from the street, they aren't just offering you a chair at a table. They are granting you entry into an exclusive secret that most people will never see. You might find yourself wondering why the tables remain vacant during what should be peak hours, and the answer lies in what is happening just beyond your immediate line of sight. Just around the corner, a massive line of locals stretches down the block, winding past the unmarked entrance like a human serpent. These people aren't waiting for variety or a casual choice. They are gathered for one singular, legendary dish, the exact meal you flew across the entire world to find. Every single person in that queue understands the high stakes of the hunt. They know that to find this specific taste, you have traveled thousands of miles, crossing vast oceans and shifting through dozens of time zones, only to discover that the ultimate prize is hidden behind a door with no sign. It is reserved exclusively for those patient enough to wait and bold enough to recognize the code in the glass. You aren't just looking for a meal anymore. You are participating in a ritual of discovery where the reward is buried under layers of secrecy, waiting for the one person who follows the trail all the way to the end. You think your awareness is protecting your pocketbook, but in this very moment, your most valuable assets are being traded for a single second of distraction. Imagine yourself walking through a crowded plaza. The noise is constant, the movement is fluid. You feel safe because you believe you're watching out for yourself. You aren't. You are being mapped. It starts with a collision, not an accident, but a calculated strike. A helpful stranger bumps into your shoulder, their eyes filled with rehearsed concern. Suddenly, the ground is slick and wet with a spilled drink. This isn't a clumsy mistake, it is a tactical maneuver. While you instinctively reach down to steady your footing or brush the liquid from your clothes, the entire environment shifts. The chaos is intentional. It is designed to break your focus. Then comes the staged argument. Two people begin a loud, aggressive dispute just inches from your shoulder. They aren't just shouting. They are projecting volume to flood your senses, overstimulating your brain until it reaches a breaking point. Your mind is forced into a split-second survival choice. Do you watch the heated fight unfolding in front of your face, or do you worry about your belongings? While your eyes are locked on the shouting, the real move happens in the blind spot. And then there is the kid with the clipboard. He isn't taking notes. He's providing a physical barrier. His presence creates a visual wall that masks the lightning-fast movement of a hand reaching into your pocket. These aren't random crimes born of desperation. Pickpockets work in precise, rehearsed scripts moving like clockwork gears in a machine. They don't hunt for wallets. They hunt for the distracted tourist clutching a phone, the ultimate beacon of vulnerability. They wait for that exact, microscopic window when your eyes leave your belongings to focus on the manufactured chaos surrounding you. But once you recognize the script, the magic vanishes. The illusion of accidental chaos evaporates into a series of deliberate movements. You see the move before it lands, and the predator melts away into the crowd, their game ruined by your sudden, sharp awareness. You think the walls of your daily routine are a fortress, but they are actually paper-thin veils hiding a reality where one single oversight can turn your entire life into a nightmare in the blink of an eye. You tell yourself it's just a minor detail, a trivial piece of paperwork, or a tiny bit of preparation that doesn't seem worth the effort of your focus. It feels like a waste of time, a pedantic chore, until the moment reality strikes with surgical precision. Imagine the scene. You are in a sterile hospital room in a foreign land, thousands of miles away from everything familiar. The air is heavy with the smell of antiseptic as a doctor hands you a medical bill. You look at the numbers and your heart stops. This isn't just a few $100s for a procedure. It is a staggering amount that erases every cent of your life savings in one stroke. In that moment, your home, your security, and your future vanish because of a single unchecked box on a form you deemed unnecessary. Or picture yourself standing on a desolate tarmac under a scorching sun. The engines are silent, the ground crew is gone, and a canceled flight has left you stranded for days with no way out and no resources to call for help. You are physically isolated, your phone is useless, and the vast distance between you and your front door feels like an infinite void. In this scenario, that tiny checkbox you almost skipped, the one regarding travel insurance or emergency protocols, is the only thing standing between a catastrophic disaster and a mere inconvenience. You aren't just checking a box, you are building a fortress against the unpredictable. The world doesn't care about your assumptions of safety. When the unexpected happens, and it always does, you will find that the waste of time today is the only reason you won't be ruined tomorrow. You have to decide right now. Do you choose the illusion of convenience, or do you build a shield? Don't let a moment of laziness become your ultimate undoing. The cost of preparation is measured in minutes. The cost of neglect is measured in everything you own. Imagine walking into a room where every gesture you make is being judged by a silent, local code you don't even know exists. You think you're just paying for a meal, but in reality, you are navigating a minefield of cultural expectations, where one wrong move can turn a friendly interaction into an embarrassing public spectacle. If you tip like an American in a country where tipping is strictly forbidden, you aren't being generous. You look foolish, signaling to everyone watching that you are an outsider who doesn't understand the local rules. But the danger goes deeper. In regions where the service industry relies on those extra coins, skipping the tip isn't just a choice. It is a direct, quiet insult to the person standing right in front of you, stripping them of their livelihood in a gesture that feels like a personal slight. Every single country has its own invisible script, a social contract written over centuries. When you ignore these nuances, the mistake doesn't vanish when you leave. It follows you out the door as a mark of your ignorance. You aren't just ordering food or booking a ride. You are participating in a complex ritual. If you break the code, the bridge is burned. Understanding these rules is the only way to navigate the world without becoming an outsider. You are being hunted by a silent thief, one that steals your freedom before you even realize it's gone. It starts with an itinerary so tightly packed to the minute that every heartbeat is pre-calculated, leaving zero space for the unknown. When you map out every second of your journey, you aren't just planning, you are constructing a cage. You trade the possibility of discovery for the illusion of control. In this rigid grid, there is no room for the local who points you toward a hidden sanctuary, and no space for that sudden, rainy afternoon that transforms into the most legendary story you'll ever tell. These are the moments that define a life, yet they are the first things sacrificed at the altar of the perfect schedule. Think about the last time you truly felt alive in a new place. Was it because you checked a box on a list? Or was it because you took a wrong turn and found something magic? The most profound experiences aren't found in a booking confirmation. They are hidden in the gaps of your itinerary. The best moments of any trip are the ones you didn't book. They are the unplanned wanderings that stay with you forever, while the scheduled stops are forgotten by morning. You are walking into a trap disguised as a convenience. You've just landed in a foreign land, your pulse is racing, and you see that glowing sign at the arrival's desk, a currency counter offering to make your transition seamless. It feels like a favor, a shortcut to peace of mind. But in the world of international finance, convenient is often just a synonym for predatory. That machine isn't there to help you. It's designed to harvest the margin from your excitement. They dress up these abysmal exchange rates as a courtesy, but beneath the surface, they are stripping away your purchasing power before you even clear customs. You aren't just losing a few cents, you are handing over the cost of your next experience. The travelers who actually win, the ones who navigate this system like experts, know the secret rule: patience is profitable. They walk past the flashy counters, ignore the shortcut, and instead withdraw local currency from a traditional bank. By bypassing the predatory convenience of the airport, they keep that hidden margin in their pockets. That difference isn't just a number on a screen. It's the literal cost of your next night out, a free dinner, or a souvenir you would have otherwise had to pay for twice over. Imagine walking into a high-risk zone with your most valuable assets pinned to your chest. It's not just a mistake, it's an invitation. In a split second, your surroundings transform from a workspace into a hunting ground where you are the primary target. When you strap on brand new gear and allow an expensive camera to swing visibly against your torso, you aren't merely filming a scene for an audience. You are broadcasting a signal to anyone watching. That specific equipment is no longer a tool of your trade. It is a trophy waiting to be claimed. Think about that money belt bulging under your tucked shirt. In the eyes of a predator, that isn't just fabric, it's a beacon in the dark. It signals to every person in the vicinity exactly what they can take from you at any moment. At that point, you aren't moving through a crowd. You are walking through a gauntlet. In those high-tension moments, it feels as though you might as well be walking around with a neon sign pinned to your chest, screaming your net worth to the world. You have turned yourself into a walking vault, and in these environments, vaults are always cracked eventually. But there is a fundamental rule of survival that changes everything: the art of invisibility. This isn't about magic, it's about tactical psychology. By choosing to blend in, even just slightly, you strip away the target and reclaim your personal safety. When you deliberately hide the luxury and mask the wealth, the entire atmosphere shifts instantly. You are no longer being hunted as a walking treasury. Instead, you are treated like just another guest in the room. This shift changes the fundamental dynamic of the encounter from a high-stakes confrontation into a standard interaction. Because you have removed the visual profit, the people around you stop calculating what they can take and start simply acknowledging your presence. You become calmer because your brain is no longer forced to constantly scan for threats, allowing you to focus on the task at hand. To survive in these spaces, you must master the ultimate paradox. You must be physically present but visually invisible. By erasing the signs of wealth, you regain the most valuable thing you have: the ability to move through the world without being hunted by it. You could be standing in the middle of a crowded terminal, your heart racing with the anticipation of a new life, only to have your entire world crushed by a single piece of paper that isn't there. It's the ultimate betrayal, moving across oceans for months, only to be turned away at the gate because of a mistake you didn't even know you were making. The visa you didn't know you needed functions like an invisible wall, a silent barrier that stops your journey before it even begins. Look closely at the documents in your hand. That passport, it might expire just weeks after your arrival, rendering your entire itinerary worthless. Or perhaps it's the vaccination on the form, a tiny oversight that acts as a total blockade to your entry. These aren't just administrative errors. They are the invisible traps that turn dreams into stranded memories. You have to understand that in the world of global travel, a single missing stamp is the difference between a new beginning and a forced return. 10 minutes of checking right now, scrutinizing every date, every letter, and every requirement, saves you from the most heartbreaking loss imaginable, being told no when you were just inches away from saying yes. Don't let a deadline be your downfall. Verify everything before the gate closes forever. You think you're getting a free ride, but in reality, you're being ushered into a calculated trap designed to harvest your attention and your wallet. You believe you are the explorer, making independent choices on your own terms, but the second you step onto that pavement, the game changes. Look closely at those signs. The free walking tours, the complimentary shuttle rides, and the no-obligation tastings strategically scattered across every tourist hub. To the casual observer, these appear as generous perks of the journey, a way to experience the local culture without any strings attached. But for the architects behind the scenes, these are nothing more than high-conversion funnels. Every free gesture is a calculated hook, engineered with surgical precision to pull you away from your independent path and funnel you directly into a curated sales pipeline. The moment you step onto that shuttle or accept a single sample of a local delicacy, you aren't just accepting a gift, you are entering an invisible psychological contract. In this transaction, the only thing being given away for free is the opportunity to be sold. You have ceased to be an explorer in the eyes of the marketing machine. You have become a lead. The trap doesn't spring all at once. Instead, it tightens slowly. If you don't recognize the underlying pitch immediately, the pressure begins to mount, a subtle, escalating push toward a purchase you never intended to make. It starts with a friendly recommendation, then moves into an insistent suggestion until your autonomy is eroded by the sheer weight of the sales cycle. You are being guided through a labyrinth where every turn leads closer to a transaction. To survive this, you have to see through the marketing veneer to reclaim your agency. You must look past the polished signage and the friendly faces to see the machinery underneath. Knowing exactly what you are signing up for before you step off the curb is the only way to ensure that your time remains yours and their profit doesn't become your burden. The moment you realize the price of free is your attention, the trap loses its power. Imagine standing in a labyrinth of concrete and shadows where your primary lifeline, the very device that holds your identity, your route, and your safety, simply vanishes into blackness. You aren't just looking for a street corner, you are facing the sudden, paralyzing isolation of being invisible in a world that demands constant connection. One dead battery, one no-signal alleyway, one stolen phone. In an instant, the traveler who trusted only the glowing screen is cast out, stranded in a foreign city where every sign is a puzzle and every shadow feels like a threat. The digital umbilical cord is severed, leaving you vulnerable to the chaos of the unknown. But this is where the divide between the unprepared and the survivor becomes clear. While panic sets in for many, for some, the truth lies in what they carried before the screen went dark. A single screenshot stored in a local folder, a piece of paper with a scribbled address gripped in a pocket, or an offline map. These aren't just files. They are the difference between a nightmare and a way home. These small backups act as your ultimate failsafe, turning a desperate situation into a manageable journey. In a world governed by data, these physical anchors are what save the entire day. Imagine standing in a sea of thousands, where every inch of personal space is contested by the bodies pressing against you, while your skin begins to sear under an unforgiving, relentless sun. You are fighting for a moment of connection with a destination that will fundamentally transform just 21 days later. Yet right now, you are paying a devastating price. You aren't just spending currency, you are trading away your peace of mind, trapped in the suffocating density of peak season. This isn't merely a vacation choice. It is a high-stakes gamble on timing where the crowds cease to be a mere statistic and become a physical barrier, a wall of humanity blocking the very experience you traveled across oceans to find. In this environment, the heat is no longer just a backdrop of the landscape. It becomes an active adversary, draining your energy as you navigate the bottleneck of popular landmarks. But there is a secret hidden in plain sight within the calendar, a truth that separates those who endure from those who thrive. While the masses surge toward these same destinations at the exact same moment, driving prices into the stratosphere and turning quiet, historic streets into congested veins of frustration, there is another group moving through the shadows. The elite travelers, the ones who actually witness the magic you are missing, know something you don't. They understand that peak is often a psychological trap designed for the uninformed traveler. By shifting their window by just a few weeks on either side of the calendar, they bypass the chaos entirely. For them, the transition is instantaneous and profound. The same location undergoes a metamorphosis. It becomes calm, the costs plummet to accessible levels, and the scenery is bathed in a golden hue that the frantic summer rush simply erases from the frame. They aren't traveling harder or seeking out more extreme locations. They are traveling smarter. They have mastered the art of the shoulder season, choosing the profound silence over the overwhelming spectacle. They don't just see the destination, they experience it in its purest form, while you are left fighting for breath in the crush of the crowd. You are one single, impulsive decision away from losing everything you've worked for. In those tense seconds at a government checkpoint or a high-security gate, your pulse spikes, and that is exactly when the trap is set. Most people don't realize that their own impatience is the very thing that flags them as a threat. When you become tired of waiting and decide to cut corners, you aren't just speeding things up. You are making yourself visible by lying on a single line of a form, carrying an unpermitted item in your bag, or snapping at an official who is simply doing their job. You trigger a manual override of the system. What should have been a 5-minute formality instantly transforms into hours of grueling interrogation and invasive scrutiny. You aren't just delayed, you are flagged. You become a person of interest because your behavior contradicts the expected norm. But there is a way to move like a ghost through the machinery of bureaucracy. When you remain calm, stay honest with every word, and arrive perfectly prepared, the gate opens automatically. You don't create friction, so the system doesn't react. While others are caught in the gears of their own mistakes, the prepared individual walks straight through, invisible to the alarms that trap everyone else. You are being lured into a trap by the very numbers you think are saving you money. It starts with that bargain flight, a ticket that looks like a win, until you see the reality of the grueling, brutal layover in a terminal halfway across the globe, where hours of your life vanish into a cramped plastic chair. Then comes the room. You book the cheapest option, only to find yourself stranded in the wrong neighborhood, miles from the pulse of the city, facing a commute that drains your energy before the day even begins. Even the tours fall into this snare. You choose the cheapest guide, only to realize they are leading you through the same crowded tourist traps while your precious time, the one thing you can never buy back, evaporates into waste. These aren't discounts. They are false savings that actively sabotage your experience. They rob you of the very memories you traveled thousands of miles to create. The elite traveler understands a fundamental truth. Profit is found in strategy, not just prices. They master the art of the trade-off, choosing to spend where it matters, the comfort, the location, and the authentic experience, while saving on the things that don't. Stop trading your sanity for a lower number. Some costs are hidden until they've already ruined the trip. You are walking directly into a trap of outdated information, a silent snare that could leave you staring at an empty table or a locked door when you need it most. Imagine yourself standing in the center of a bustling, chaotic city, your stomach churning with hunger and your spirit desperate for one genuine connection to the local culture. You pull out your guidebook, searching for salvation, only to realize in that chilling moment that the paper in your hand is already a relic of the past. It was printed just 2 years ago, but in the volatile, fast-moving world of local secrets, 2 years is an eternity. While you are relying on these static, frozen pages, the local inhabitant knows exactly what is vibrant and alive today. They move with the pulse of the current moment, while your map remains a ghost of a time that no longer exists. But there is a secret path through this barrier, a way to bypass the dead ends of traditional tourism. When travelers stop following the pre-written script and start asking, and more importantly, when they actually stop to listen, the world physically opens up around them. They aren't just searching for a place to eat. They are unlocking the heavy gate to an authentic experience that is guarded from the masses. By engaging directly with the local, you bypass the filter of the printer and gain access to the specific meal, the hidden view, and the electric atmosphere of a perfect night that you could never have discovered alone. It is the fundamental difference between being a mere spectator watching through a glass pane and becoming an active participant in the living culture. Do not let a 2-year-old printing dictate the limits of your journey or define the boundaries of what you are allowed to see. The information is out there, vibrating in the air around you. Listen to the voices of those who call these streets home. When you stop following the map and start listening to the people, you will find the doors that remain hidden from everyone else. Imagine your body becoming a prisoner of your own belongings, weighed down by physical anchors that dictate every move you make. You find yourself straining against the weight of 2 heavy suitcases, muscles screaming as you navigate grueling flights of foreign stairs and shove through claustrophobic, surging crowds in transit hubs. In those moments, your journey ceases to be about the destination. It becomes a desperate struggle against the luggage. Every step is measured by the strain on your grip. Every turn is blocked by the bulk behind you, and the world shrinks until it is only as large as the space your bags can fit through. You are no longer an explorer. You are a pack animal. But there is a hidden truth to travel that changes everything. When you strip away the weight, you reclaim your agency. Pack light enough to carry everything on your own back, or in a single bag, and suddenly the gates swing wide. The boundaries of your itinerary vanish. You move when you want, how you want, and where you want. The world stops being an obstacle course of heavy lifting and becomes a playground of infinite possibility. By shedding the physical burden, you gain the ultimate luxury, the freedom to pivot on a whim, turning any street corner into a new beginning. Imagine walking through an ancient city where you are not a guest, but a ghost, a phantom moving through streets that hold memories heavier than stone. You might think your itinerary is a map of discovery, but in reality, it's often just a curated gallery of images. Most tourists fall into the same trap. They treat a living, breathing civilization as nothing more than a cinematic backdrop for their own personal highlight reel. When you view a culture only through a lens, you miss the heartbeat of the land. You see a monument, but you ignore the generations of hands that carved it. You see a market, but you fail to hear the stories behind the trade. The danger here is profound. When you treat people as props in your narrative, they sense it. They withdraw. To break this cycle, you must consciously shift your perspective. Slow down. Force yourself to learn even just one small detail about a local custom or a historic nuance. When you choose to respect the residents who call these streets home, something profound happens. The atmosphere shifts. The performance ends, the walls come down, and the country stops performing for your camera. It starts welcoming you into its soul. You aren't just visiting anymore. You are finally being invited in. Your bank account is hemorrhaging, and your most precious resource, time, is being bled dry by invisible leaks in your itinerary before you even step foot off the plane. You feel that phantom weight of exhaustion creeping in, but what if I told you it isn't caused by the distance traveled? It's being stolen from you right now. You have been sold a comforting lie. The myth that better travel requires a deeper hole in your pocket or an endless supply of vacation days to offset the stress of movement. This is a calculated deception designed to keep you chasing more, while the truth remains far more unsettling. You aren't lacking resources. You are committing systematic errors that quietly sabotage your experience from the inside out. Every missed connection, every logistical oversight, and every poorly timed booking acts like a silent parasite on your freedom, eating away at your joy before you can even experience it. You don't need to find more money. You need to stop letting it slip through the cracks of avoidable mistakes. Imagine a journey where the friction vanishes. By identifying and fixing just a few of these critical friction points, your next trip won't just be better. It will be fundamentally transformed from a stressful chore into a seamless, effortless experience. We are peeling back the curtain on the specific logistics that most travelers ignore until it is physically impossible to fix them. These aren't minor inconveniences. They are structural failures in your travel architecture. If you want to protect your future self from the grueling exhaustion and the waste of these common traps, you must see the system for what it really is. We expose one of these hidden travel drains every single week, stripping away the layers of complexity to ensure your next escape is exactly what you imagine, not a gauntlet of avoidable headaches. You deserve to arrive refreshed, not depleted by the very journey meant to restore you. Stop the bleeding and reclaim your freedom from the mistakes that have been quietly sabotaging your dreams. Subscribe now to secure your seat in the circle of those who travel with intent, precision, and peace of mind.